Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Our Take. We are your hosts. I'm Taylor.
I'm Connor.
I'm Zach.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Studio Ghibli movie. This is not new, but because the annual Studio Ghibli Fest, we decided that we wanted to get one of these out for you guys and talk about them since never really had the chance to. But these are, at least for me, Studio Ghibli has some of the most iconic anime movies ever made, and they're really timeless and classic for a lot of them. So today we're going to be taking a look at Howl's Moving Castle as chosen by Zach, because we just picked it by random. But Connor, can you tell me when this movie came out?
Yeah, it came out in...
I know it was a long time ago, obviously, but
2004, September 5th.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too that bad at all.
Based on the animation, you'd never know.
True. Yeah, honestly, because a lot of his work, I mean, for certain details you can kind of tell, but for the most part, they all look like
leagues
great.
ahead of
And
everything
you can't,
else.
you can't tell that it came from 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But as far as cast goes, I'm assuming we probably don't know anybody. So
no, they're all.
If you just want to give us
actually though, if you want to know the English dubbed actors, I can give you those.
Just give us both English and Japanese for the main characters.
Okay, so for Sophie, it's Chieko Baisho, and her younger self is Emily Mortimer, and her older self is Gene Simmons. And then for Howl, it's Takuya Kimura, and the English dub is Christian Bale.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the English dub, so I wouldn't know.
It's Christian Bale.
That's crazy.
I watched the English dub, and now that I see it, I'm like, oh my god, that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah, which is actually not uncommon for for Ghibli. They always have really big, well-known American voice actors because I think Ponyo, they have Liam Neeson as one of the characters.
Yeah,
which you can definitely tell it's him though. This one, I can't even remember.
Yeah, you can really tell that it was. You can really tell that it was Christian Bale, but there's some inflections that are like, okay,
right, just little hints.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, you couldn't even tell because I mean he sounds hella young.
I mean, if you think about it, it turns into a giant bat. You know, vengeance.
Yeah.
Hey, vengeance. Yeah.
And then the Witch of the Waste is Akihiro Moriyama, who's a dude. And then the English dub actor is Lauren Bacall. And Maruku is Ryunosuke Kimiki, and the English voice dub is Joshua Ryan Hutcherson, who plays PETA in the Hunger Games.
Ah, which character was that?
The little kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense because he was probably still a kid.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Hunger Games in so long.
Right, so there's actually a few people that are pretty well known, at least for the
English side. Yeah.
I
don't know. I'm not too sure about the Japanese side. That may be.
I don't know who any of those people are.
I usually, Japanese ones it's hard for me to remember names and faces unless I just, I don't know, really recognize them.
Yeah.
But
it's rough. But
yeah, so that's our
cast list.
As always, we'll do a spoiler-free thoughts, give our ratings, and then spoilers. I know this is an old movie, but just to keep the regular, flow of everything. So
yeah, keep it going.
let's start with you, Connor. What did you think about this movie? Also, while you're answering that, are you? I guess let us know if you're a big fan of Studio Ghibli stuff in general or anime in general.
Not a big fan of anime, but I am big. I not a big fan of Studio Ghibli, but I like Studio Ghibli. I'm not like a huge fan of everything that they've done, but I definitely like very specific movies that they've done. And
but you're at least
definitely the high
decently like familiar with
right
a lot of their stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so I do enjoy them. I think I don't know. Nothing against anime. It's just not my thing. It's just like I
find so interesting because I feel like there's so
weird.
many things about it that is definitely up your alley, but
yeah, I'm just more of a Western animation kind of guy, and it's always like Justice League Unlimited and stuff like that for me. So
it's a lot of the like themes and like action and stuff. I feel like is. But is it literally just the animation, or
no? It's not the animation. I think anime does really well in the animation department. I think the animation is great. I just don't like they're in the middle of a battle and then it's like pauses for 15 minutes while both people are like monologuing to themselves in their heads, and it's like
okay. I mean that's very specific.
Yeah, it's just that happens
like Dragon Ball
too
Z
much.
does that.
Yeah, that happens way too much. And
Demon Slayer.
I used to love Dragon Ball. I still like Dragon Ball Z.
Naruto.
I still love Dragon Ball Z, and then after every other like you said. Every anime after that, like the shonen animes or whatever, just kept doing the same thing. I was just like, okay, I'm tired.
Yeah, that's fair, but that's a very specific like subgenre of anime that does it. Like you said, a lot of
it just turned me off. It just turned me off,
like
and it made me not want to really branch out after that. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
Like I saw like one episode of Bleach, I think, after that, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is like times 10."
Yeah, this all the stuff you probably have looked at is exactly that.
Because I got it all from right. But it's not like I had like the DVDs or whatever. Like I was exposed to it from watching it on Toonami back as a kid.
Right, and Toonami only shows the big shonen generic stuff.
Yeah, after like a while, it's like this is awesome, and then after a while, it's just kind of like, okay, I'll go back to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
It's better for my simple, smooth brain. There's too much exposition for me to handle in animes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. That's why a lot of the shows that you probably did see like some of and didn't like it. It's the same reason why I don't watch them is because they're fine. But I don't have the attention span to watch like 5,000 episodes of like Naruto or Boruto, like Bleach, One Piece. Like they're good, but it's like too much filler.
Yeah, I don't have my ADHD will not let me. You know what I mean? Like I can watch a 20-minute episode of the Batman animated series and be like, "That was great," and turn it off. Like what I mean? And there was no I'm bored, so
okay, that's cool. I just curious
nothing against
for the audience.
Nothing against anime. I don't hate anime. It's just that's just how I was exposed to
DxD.
it. No, he's definitely not watching that.
So what was your question before that?
Well, I guess just what did you think of this particular movie?
Oh yeah, okay.
Have you seen it before? And
I have seen it before. Yes. It was a long time ago.
On the higher recommendation versus like all the other ones, or is it lower?
I don't know.
In between.
It's in between. It's not my favorite one, and it's not something that I would watch again. like I said, I watched it once before. I was like, wow, the animation is amazing. Animation's always amazing, but yeah, it's definitely amazing in this movie. And it was definitely cool when I watched it the first time. But watching it again, I was kind of like, I don't know.
Not as interested as the first time.
Yeah, I think it's just, how I don't know. I liken it back to like, as a kid liking musicals, and growing up, I don't like musicals now. So it's like not that I don't like it, but I think I just grew into other types of Studio Ghibli movies. You know what I mean? Like I like Princess Mononoke. Like I like, I like that. Yeah, like those are my favorite. Like I love Princess Mononoke. I love My Neighbor Totoro. And I don't know. It was cool to see. It was cool to see the like themes in this movie. As a older person, I'm not gonna say adult, but as an older person who like can kind of understand what a man child who can kind of understand what the background of like what they're kind of basing this world off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I appreciated that a lot. I appreciated the animation. Like I said, I watched it in the English dub, like a plebeian, but I
don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No,
I thought because Ghibli, honestly, pretty awesome.
Now, for generic, like random anime, I feel like it varies. But for Ghibli, it's like AAA top
like
tier.
I couldn't even tell that it was dubbed. It looked like everything synced up. It was like the voices matched. It was really good voice acting. I was like, man, this is really good voice acting for an anime. And, so I thought it was good. And I definitely would recommend it. I would still recommend all of Studio Ghibli's movies. I think for someone to watch, no matter which one they are. It's definitely not bad, and it's not worth seeing. It's
just this one in particular is not your favorite.
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's still really good. It's still a Studio Ghibli movie. It's still definitely worth a watch to this day after a decade.
Yeah, even after all these years. Yeah. All right, Zach, what about you?
I do watch anime, not as often as I used to, maybe because just time. But I watch a variety of anime.
Weeboo trash.
Says the guy with the weeboo on his Rainbow Six Siege account. But anyways, continuing. No, I've watched anime since I was a kid. Starting with Dragon Ball Z, of course. It's like the big number one. Everyone starts with that pretty much. And then I just moved on to other genres. And to this day, I still watch anime. Not as much as I used to. But yeah, I frankly enjoy anime. And Studio Ghibli, can't speak right now. Whatever. They make great movies. And both dub and subbed is great. I mean, I usually watch in sub just because, I don't know, I'm a pep. I'm a loser, and I got the Sharingan.
What's it called?
I don't even know what that is.
Elitist?
Anime elitist?
No, definitely not. Like I only watch Dragon Ball in dub because I can't.
Yeah, there are certain shows I actually I only watch in English, but it's because I grew up with them in English.
Yeah,
like Dragon Ball Z, Samurai Champloo, all of the stuff basically that was on Toonami, and like Naruto. I can watch them in both, but I actually find myself gravitating more towards the English because I'm familiar with the voice actors and stuff. But newer
it's
stuff,
you remember,
newer stuff though, I have to be Japanese for some reason. I don't know why.
I'll watch live action Japanese movies in Japanese. But
I mean, live actions. I mean, that's a way bigger difference. But
for me, it feels like the newer dubs are like, I wouldn't say they're worse, but they feel worse. You know what I mean? They don't feel like they have the same, I would say, emotion behind it. You don't have the same dedication to it as like the Japanese do. You know what I mean? Like in some, not saying with this movie, but in general, in some newer animes, like it just doesn't feel the same as it would.
It's almost to me like the anime itself has constantly grown and evolved, but English
voice
acting dubs for them has not changed at all. So like now it feels like the voice acting like in general is like B movie, but the anime itself is like top tier.
Yeah, that's usually how it is.
I have no idea.
That's not actually true. I'm
No
just
idea
saying
what
that's what it
you-
feels
That's
like.
how I feel. That's how I feel. Connor's like, "What are you guys on about, weebs?" No, but
yeah,
that's my take on the whole anime thing. I do enjoy watching it when I get the chance. As for these movies, I love them. They're like my childhood growing up.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Hawaii, it was just my dad's like, "Yeah, you're watching this and watching it with me." So I think the
you're
first
gonna
one,
like it.
yeah, exactly, you're gonna like it. The first one I think watch was My Neighbor Totoro. That was probably the first one I watched, and then from there it just sprouted into the spiraling hole of
I think that's usually everybody's first
movies.
one.
Yeah,
So iconic.
but
Yeah, it's a
I would
classic.
always recommend people at least watch some of his movies because they're all timeless classics.
You have
Like,
to
you
at
can't
least
just
watch
Yeah.
one Studio Ghibli movie in
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
there's
think that's very true. Because honestly, it's really unique in how just because it's time, like the ability to make something that transcends time, but like all the themes and stuff can even like you said mentioned Connor, it can almost grow on you as a person when you watch it again as you grow up, because there's a lot of things you can miss as a kid that you just never noticed or appreciated, but you do growing up, and it like changes the perspective of it.
Yeah.
And then one thing I do like, I think they did really well is like the timeless part, but also the part where like it doesn't feel strictly Japanese. You know what I mean? Like it has that animation, but it just feels like you can watch it as like anything. It's not like American. Like you watch anime, it feels like you're watching anime.
It's like
for
you're
this
watching a
particular
fantasy.
story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this does.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It does feel like
It's
more
very-
fantasy.
It feels like it's more blended together, which I think would helps people get into the whole anime thing, which helped me get into it for sure. But yeah, it's just one of those movies where you can't not watch.
Yeah, that's true. All right. As far as me personally, I'm a weeb. I love anime. I've always loved it. I mean, I love everything about like Japanese culture in general. But anime has always been a really big, important part of my life. I used to literally track like every minute and hour of like total watch time of everything that I've seen, and like paused or stopped or dropped it and stuff. And it's kind of crazy how much time adds up when you really like sit down and like count it all and stuff. But it was a large portion of my life that was dedicated to watching stuff, which is kind of crazy. But
like
Studio Ghibli,
weeb.
like both of you guys said, I think is honestly like super legendary as far as not even just anime with like animation and stuff, but just movies in general.
Yeah, as a studio, as a production studio.
They're super amazing at what they do with their storytelling, their themes, the music, animation and stuff, and blending all kinds of different like genres and all that kind of stuff together. And this movie to me is no exception. I will say it is not one of my favorites, but it is pretty high on my, like, if I was to list all of his movies, it's pretty high up there. It's just not in like the top like 4 or 5. But I do like this movie a lot. And one thing I do agree with that you said, Connor, again, is I don't know how many times I've watched this, but because I've seen it a lot, but watching this older for sure was a lot different than it was when I was younger. And there's a lot of like things that I used to, because I younger, I think I appreciated this movie less because I didn't understand certain things that happen in it.
The themes, yeah.
Right. Because this one is like, unlike some of his other, or Studio Ghibli's other stuff, like this one has like war and love and like magic and like that kind of fantasy stuff. Which to me, when I was younger, all the war stuff to me was like very, I don't know why, I didn't really understand like the ideas or like why they like all these countries and stuff are at war within this particular movie. But And then even like the subtle things with I guess we'll call it the family and stuff, but I appreciate them a lot more as I got older. And but yeah, this movie's like, I think it's great. I would highly recommend anything like you guys said from Studio Ghibli, especially as a kid. I think it's great. There's nothing I would say. Okay, actually, Princess Mononoke, I'm not gonna lie, that one you might want to wait till they're like a little bit older, but
yeah,
that one's a little bit more edgy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I think it's great for a introductory of like, I guess just movies and animation and stuff for a kid, which has a lot. I would say a more deeper like themes and stuff than most Americans. I'm thinking like Disney. Like, there's nothing wrong with them, but it like usually Ghibli stuff like involves usually more complicated things, which I appreciate. But
some have really dark themes, some are super light theme. It's like a nice little blend.
Yeah, there's a lot of different
for adults and kids together, which is great.
Yeah. So, what do you guys got for a rating for this movie?
Jackie, you go first.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
All right. Really well.
Yeah. I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay. For me, I think I'm going to give this an 8 as well.
Yeah. It's definitely worth a watch. Definitely a good movie. Yeah.
I think this is really good movie. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really got to say to it. But that's it. That's our scores. 9 for Zaki, 8 for me and Connor. And this is going to be your official
spoiler alert.
All right. Who is your guys' favorite character in this?
The dog.
Okay.
Yeah, the
dog is pretty great. Yeah.
No cap. The dog is the best character. Prove me wrong.
I will prove you wrong. But he is a great character, though.
He's just, he's the best non-voice character. I think I've ever seen.
Is...
I mean, his caliber of acting is unparalleled.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I love the dog. The dog's funny. He's just like he can't even bark because he's so fucking old. He's just like
yeah. He's got the oh man, I keep forgetting his name. But there's an old American cartoon dog that laughs like that. Like it's got
exactly.
that wheezing sound.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
And they fucking nail that perfectly in this movie. And I know probably the dog is not everybody's favorite character, but he definitely made the movie for me.
He's up there.
As soon as the dog came in, I was like, I remember that dog. And then he was like, and I was like, that's great.
Like, that's the guy.
That's the guy. And I was like,
that's the one.
Yeah.
The only reason why you watched the movie was for the dog. Don't lie.
Yeah, really, it kind of turned into that. At that point, I was kind of like, all right, they got to introduce somebody, to really hold this movie up because it's just drowning right now. And then they introduced the dog, and I was like, okay, it's a 10 out of 10. It's now.
The dog is great.
Yeah. All jokes aside, that was my favorite character. I love the dog. He was just he was funny, and he turned out to be a good dog. And he was like, "Fuck you, I'm not going to do anything evil." Yeah. And he was like,
boy.
He Skyped the fucking queen lady, and she was like, check it out. I fucked you over. Peace. And he left. I was like, that's great. Good job. Yeah. That's perfect.
When you first saw the dog, did you think he was Howl or no?
No. I mean,
they introduced him.
Yeah, from the first time when I first saw the movie, I assumed he was, but this time I knew that it wasn't, so I was like,
yeah, I just remembered.
I just remember the dog, but yeah, I mean they introduced him as one of the main characters, Howl, but he's just a dog.
That's not true. Yeah, he's just a dog.
He's just
better.
He's just a 900-year-old dog. So it was really good. What about you, Zeki? What's your favorite character?
Not gonna be a surprise, but I can't. I have to say it's Calcifer. He's just so sassy. I love it.
Yeah.
Just gives everybody shit, and I think it's the best thing in the world.
That's
Calls
right.
out everybody and everything.
Great. Honestly,
Calcifer just calls out everybody on their shit. He's like, "Yeah, you're wrong."
yeah,
I love Calcifer.
He's like one of 3 characters I think like legitimately like are the workhorses for this, at least this particular story.
Yeah.
But he is super funny.
The close second is the freaking Scarecrow. He was just doing nothing the entire time. I love it. He's just there.
Okay, first of all, so my favorite character is in fact Turnip Head, which is the Scarecrow.
Yeah,
he is, I think, the most. He was like the most reliable character in this movie.
That's
yeah.
He's always there. He always like helps out, and he always gets the job done. Never fails.
Nope.
And will sacrifice himself to fucking do whatever you guys need to in the movie. You know.
Yeah.
And not to mention, he gave up the love of his life. It's just
he did. I mean, he got at the end. He got transformed back so that he could relive the rest of his life. Which is, you know, good.
I thought it was,
the prince,
hilarious that it was like literally a 2-second scene of them being like, "Oh, she loves somebody else." Whoops. He's like,
whoops.
"Oh, well." Yeah.
It's probably the.
It's like, wow, he took that really well and moved on from it immediately.
I mean, I don't know how.
Well,
long
he has the Witch of the
Scarecrow,
Waste.
but...
Come on.
Sure.
He has Witch of the Waste. That's his love right there. They're happy ever
see,
after.
I never understood that. I was like, ooh. You didn't come back for her? It's like,
I mean, he doesn't. Does he actually say that? I thought it was just the witch that says that.
No, he says that. She's like, "We'll be waiting for you," and he's like, "As soon as I've notified my father, I will make my return for you." And it's like,
what?
Like, what,
bro?
She doesn't even have bones, dude. She's like just skin. Like she has no bones. What? Come on, man. You could do better than that.
I always thought that was funny.
She's like
her character
borderline senile. It's like it would be like you're almost taking advantage of the old lady. She doesn't know what the fuck is going on half the time. Half the time she's conscious.
Well,
half the time she's just like.
At the end, she kind of gets back to her old self.
Yeah.
I don't know because she still has the like, oh, pretty dog at the end, and I'm like, oh, there she goes back to fucking being senile. So it's kind of like, she's off and on, man. She's got a light switch that's kind of
she is, but
blinking
I mean, it's not really her fault because the other witch like cast a curse or something, or like stole her power.
I mean, she is evil. She did a lot of evil stuff.
She was, yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't get it. I'm like, she's evil. She's half senile.
We never see her do anything. That's just all rumors. Because people also were talking about Howl, but Howl didn't
that's true.
do anything.
But she did actually. I mean, she cursed the main character, so.
Well, they're exes, that's why. She dated Howl.
Yeah, but you can't just go around cursing people. You can be like, oh,
she's a witch. She definitely can.
She probably played Call of Duty one time. just
gotta
learn everything.
That's bad.
Yeah. So that was weird. And it was kind of, I was like, oh, but he was cool. I mean, as a Scarecrow, he was cool. As the guy, he was weird, but as the Scarecrow, he was cool.
Oh yeah, as the Scarecrow, yeah, he's I don't really care about the prince himself. Like, whatever, but
yeah, they should have turned him back into the Scarecrow. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, he was actually a really good Scarecrow.
He kind of reminded me of the lamp character in Spirited Away. From the Sisters Village.
Yeah,
but kind of similar.
I don't remember it.
Similar vibes to that character, which is one thing or at least animation-wise, you can definitely tell like similarities between all of their movies of certain characters and
character
stuff.
Archetypes. Yeah.
If it's not broke, don't fix, right?
Yeah, I mean,
broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, it works. So
it works. They make plenty of money.
But even just general like styling of characters, you can like tell there's like clear inspirations from their earlier works and stuff.
Yeah,
which I think is cool.
Yeah, I think all of their designs for not only the characters but the world building itself for these
the
movies.
Environment, especially
very,
this one, like,
very inspired. Yeah,
the castle itself is fucking insane how it's designed, and I love it.
That
Very
is
the
inspired.
warships and everything. It's very
Yeah.
like steampunk.
They obviously took a lot of inspiration from steampunk and from like World War One.
Yep.
And they just mashed it together, and it came out really well. And
it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they did a fucking amazing job, and the music is top notch. I love the music in almost every Studio Ghibli movie. I mean, they always nail it. I don't know. Besides that, I mean, they nail every aspect of an animated movie. I think. I don't think there's any negatives that I could think of. You know.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the two main characters throughout this particular movie?
So Howl and Sophie.
Howl and Sophie. Yeah.
I mean the dog and
yeah, the dog and the scarecrow.
Yeah.
Those were great. Yeah.
I like Sophie, but like I don't know. I feel like she could have done more. You know what I mean? Like she's just like a cleaning lady. Like I feel like we should have followed Howl more, or I don't know how to explain it. I feel like Howl venturing off and like doing the world cooler to see. But
yeah, I mean, for sure, it would be more
the struggle of seeing Sophie, get back her young age on her own was nice. But at the same time, it's kind of like maybe when I was younger, I liked it more. As I'm older,
I mean, it's not just her like trying to get back to her actual like younger self, but it's also her like discovering
what love is and
just herself love and all that kind of stuff.
Falling in love
for Howl, like falling in love with him, and then loving like her friends and what now became her family, because her actual family are a bunch of fucking pieces of shit. Besides the dad, he died. But
yeah,
the mom is
her
fucking
sister. Mom is like, bruh, she's
Yeah.
gone for how long? And the first thing he's like, oh, I couldn't see you in a while. I was like, what?
Yeah,
You've been gone for how long?
Her mom like betrayed her, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, like wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I personally, hot take, I didn't really care about either of the two main characters. Not because they were bad or they didn't do a good job or they were bad main characters. I was just like,
not your cup of tea.
I was like, I like the dog. I like I like the dog.
I think that's fine.
I like the castle. I like the spooky bloop guys. I like the saggy
the shadow dudes.
Yeah, I like the saggy no bones lady. I liked the sorceress lady who did all the crazy magic and shit. I don't know. I liked the other characters better.
What about how when he's not in his human form?
So when he's Batman?
No?
Yeah, when he turns into like Crow guy. I mean, it's cool. It's just I was just like meh.
Yeah, I kind of wish they explained why
like,
he turned into a crow guy.
It's like it's cool you're a crow, but like the other guys are talking fire, so
no.
it's like
he's a voice of fire demon.
Yeah,
man, I did wish we could see Markle do more. The kid.
Yeah, I mean the kid.
Yeah,
the kid's fun.
You never get to see him do anything.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like I
like his disguise.
Practice.
That's pretty cool. I wish I could just do.
Oh yeah, giant beard. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just. I just didn't really care about their story specifically. I cared about a lot of the side characters' stories more.
Yeah, that's.
I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I would say I feel about the same. Like, I don't like it's really good, but it's like I enjoy the like entire like world and ambiance of it all.
Yeah, I enjoyed everything outside of that more.
I just feel like they don't. Maybe it's because they don't like dive too deep into the characters specifically that I don't have enough to attach to them.
Yeah, because you still really don't know anything about Howl. Like,
he's
besides
just,
his
he's
heart
still
thing.
like super secretive. Yeah,
and the other lady, all you know is that she was cursed and she turned old.
True.
You don't know anything before.
How do you think about the Madam Sullivan? The big bad. I don't know what she is. Is she bad? Is she good? Is she just like whatever?
I mean, she is bad, but
Like she's not
Yeah,
bad
like I
though.
I thought she was cool.
She really doesn't do anything, and there's no real like.
I think
there's no
her
real, like,
segment.
antagonist.
I
Well,
think her
because
segment of the entire her segment in the castle between her and Hal and the main girl like was the most incredibly animated segment of the entire movie. Like the magic shit happening, I was like, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I agree with that. It's
and
one of the
I mean,
best.
I thought
colors
the
and
entire
reflections and
sequence of the first half of that part, where the Witch of the Waste gets like her power stolen and stuff. I like that whole like creepy vibe they
What
had
the hell?
going on, where she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, this is my." Like at first, you're just like, "Oh, they're at the king's palace, and they finally made it to the top, and it was really funny." And all of a sudden, you're like, "Oh, wait, what the hell's going on here?"
Like
And
it
they
gives
have
you a
all the
scale of
crazy,
like her power.
spooky spirits
Yeah.
like singing and dancing and stuff.
Like it gives
Looks
you
really
a taste
cool.
of like how strong she is, but like other than that, she doesn't really do anything else. So there's only kind of downside to it. Other than
Well, that's
like,
why I thought it was
Well,
weird,
yeah.
is because like you
Yeah.
can tell that she's so powerful, but it's like, why doesn't she just like obliterate them?
yeah.
like what's her goal behind this? Like I don't understand. But
Well, because I know she's employed by the king to recruit all the
Yeah,
different
go
witches and
watch.
wizards, but
Yeah.
that's true.
she just has like this weird vendetta against Howl for some reason.
Yeah, I thought it was his mother at first. I was like, huh?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really I don't know if this is like a maybe bad take, but I don't really look too deeply into like animated characters in general. Like I don't really expect that. Like watching an animated thing, you know what I mean?
That's
Like
fair.
I'm just kind of like, okay, like I just kind of like go along with it because it's animated and it's
Yeah.
like.
You're right. Bad take.
Yeah.
It's just like she was cool, she was fine for me. I wasn't like disappointed that
No,
she
yeah.
didn't do
No,
anything
she's
else.
fine.
I was just like cool. She
Yeah, there
did
was
the thing,
nothing.
and
I wasn't
and
saying
that
there's
was-
anything wrong with her character, but
yeah,
I wouldn't
Bad
have
take.
minded more, just more from the character.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
No, Calcifer. I wanted more. No, I didn't expect more. I wanted more.
Yeah.
Give me more
He's
of his
great.
sass.
I mean, like,
His,
I think he was good enough, but like,
his
I wouldn't
origin
be
sequence, I think,
opposed
was
to more.
fire. I love the animation of his origin sequence. I think that was pretty dope.
I just love anytime he's like getting like
Attention.
fucking Super Saiyan powers,
Oh, yeah.
like fucking huge,
Yeah.
like super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I
also
thought
really funny when he's like almost dead. He's like barely hanging on.
yeah, I thought the dog farting was really cool.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
No, I
Bad take.
wish the dog was in there since the beginning. I was like, man,
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it would have
I
been
agree.
cool to have another
the dog
animal
was in there.
companion.
from like the first, if it was her dog, I would be like, oh, dude, that's such a great dog. You know what I mean? Where you get that dog from? Can I get a dog like that?
Yeah, I think it would have worked too because obviously, so the dog belongs to
Sullivan.
Solomon, yeah, it's Solomon's dog.
the king's witch. That's
Yeah,
So
he,
which
he belongs to
powerful
Sully.
Sully.
um,
From
which you find out
Monsters,
later
Inc.
in the movie when the dog runs up to her. She's like, "Oh, this is your dog." Like, yeah, I had him escort you. So I think
he
it
was
would have been
working for me
totally
the whole
fine.
time.
I mean, it might have been weird location like wise why the dog would be with them.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been totally cool if like they did have it from kind of near the beginning throughout the entire movie, and then
Yeah.
in the end you find out that it's her dog.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the dog was great. I was like, he can't go up the stairs. He's too old. That's great. She's got to carry him up
and
the
his
stairs.
chicken legs.
Yeah, and then even though he didn't actually go up the stairs himself, when she puts him on top of the stairs at the end, he's like, and like fucking, and has to like roll over to get up. And I'm like, yeah, he's like exhausted from not doing anything. And then he gets to the queen, and he's just like, and like lies down, and he's like exhausted. I thought it was great.
Super
So,
fun.
Yeah,
That whole stair sequence was hilarious.
yeah,
Because they're both like, I felt that going up like I mean that was a lot of stairs.
yeah.
They're just like dying all the way up.
Yeah. See, as FedEx employees, we understand the pain of going upstairs.
Going up mountains of stairs.
Yeah, every day we had to climb Cocoa Head just to go up to the delivery.
Sometimes.
Yeah, overall, I think it was great. Character wise, animation, world design, everything is top notch as usual for Studio Ghibli.
Yeah. The shadow dudes I really liked in this one, just because they're so like
gloopy,
creepy.
Yeah. Creepy. Yeah,
they're very creepy.
But also like funny creepy at the same time because they're like ragdolly. When they're in the carrier forms.
Yeah, because they were just like fucking gloop. They're like gloop. They fucking all over the fucking sidewalk or whatever. It's like,
I wasn't a huge fan of their design when they're in the like flying form. They just kind of look like literal flies with like teeth, basically.
Yeah. And I thought that was sweet. It's like, give me more gloop characters where they just fucking float all over the road or whatever. that just like makes me satisfied when they're just like, and then I'm like, fucking couldn't you come up with a better henchman? Stupid. Like they're all just like stupid gloop people.
I mean, they're basically indestructible, so.
Yeah, I mean they are, but come on, give them some fucking bones or something. help them a little bit. They got struggling out there to walk around.
Yeah, they really are.
So were they invisible? Because like most people never reacted to them. Like, if you remember that one scene where she's like in the middle of like the crowd of people.
Yeah, well, they're only visible to like,
whoever. I think whoever they're targeting.
Yeah, whoever they're targeting.
I want that power. Just make people do my work for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
What do you think of the airships? Because I feel like in this movie they're pretty.
I thought the airships were awesome.
Pretty unique.
I thought they were super sweet because it was like a steampunk World War I kind of thing, but they also looked like bugs, like just giant.
I mean, that's like a typical for these kind of films, right? Because they always have like ships that are like, "Mama's not home."
Well, sometimes they're and some of them
just like airships where they have like balloons.
Some movies they're just airships, and then sometimes they're like more bird inspired.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they're not insect. They're more like they're not really like typical ships from like the reality. It's more like there's always like nature inspired, other than a few movies. Most of it's more like bug, insect, or not insect, but like bird. It's always something else. Like with these movies, never typically just like a ship or a plane. It's like always something different. Like one, I think in what's that one movie with the giant bugs? Does that person okay? My brain just farts. It was just giant like a bugs. It's the one where it's my brain's just not working right now. But that one was like a freaking stingray, her little glider thing. If you remember, like they always have those kind of inspired vehicles, these air type.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know which movie you're talking about, but it varies for all the different movies.
Yeah,
but in this one in particular, though, it looks very
bug
crazy. Yeah, it's definitely bug.
It's like
more bug.
Like it literally, like the ships literally have like an anus, and it goes, and then like a bunch of fucking bugs.
That's actually true.
That's actually the ship actually has an actual anus. Yeah, and it's like things, and then like the anus like spits out a bunch of fucking like gloop
like
bugs, and
5
they start
million
flying.
bombs.
Yeah,
from
and it's
the
got
bottom.
like one. Yeah, and it's got like a bunch of bombs that look like eggs that are attached to the fucking bottom of the ship,
so that I can just carpet bomb shit.
And it's got like little tiny like fucking bug wings on the side.
A ton of wings, on the side.
Yeah.
It's not just like giant
even the
wings.
even the small like
have like bee-like wings.
Ships. Yeah, it's got like fucking fly wings and shit. It's very bug-like. It's very bug. They were like, let's take a fucking blimp from World War One. Let's shove it into some steampunk, put some gears on it and shit, and then just make it look like a mother bug that's just got a bunch of like a big anus, and she's got a bunch of eggs, and they just fly around and just fuck shit up. They're like,
it really does.
let's do it.
It
Yeah.
fucking
It really
devastates the
does.
fucking world in this movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. The war that goes on in this movie. Like, I don't even understand how anybody's alive because
I don't understand either. I was like,
their
damn.
warships look so powerful. That's like, how is there anything left?
Yeah, even the like naval ships, they have like 50 guns on that fucking thing. It's
For
like
real. It's like you
literally
take, like,
covered in guns.
7 destroyers into one.
Yeah, I was like, how do you even fucking drive that thing? You can't see shit. There's like a fucking gun everywhere.
I don't even know how the ship was like moving when it came back, and it was like pretty much destroyed, and there was still like hundreds of fucking sailors on top. I'm like, what? Where did you come from?
Yeah, and
Use
then
the guns to move.
Yeah, and somehow it's like, I don't understand I don't really understand the logistics of the war that they did in the movie, because it was like they were fine, the war started, and then like a day later, the ship, like after the ships were sent out, a day later the ship comes back, it's all fucked up, everybody starts coming out, and then the enemy airship is over the main capital, immediately over the main capital of the fucking country, strapping bombs in the ocean, being like, we're here, motherfuckers! And they're like throwing flyers out. I'm like,
yeah, leaflet
what
drops
the
everywhere.
fuck? You would think that whoever's running this fucking place would be like, hey, their airships are coming within range of our fucking main, like, place where you live.
I mean, not even just that, but like at this point, if their like premier battleship had just returned, it's destroyed, and everybody's like, what the hell's going on? And you see the enemy fucking plane warship or flying ship. It's like, oh, we lost. Like, this is it. You're dead.
Yeah, and it was like a completely normal day. Like, nobody was like warned anybody like, hey, they're coming right now. Nobody was like that. None of the guards were like that. They were just like fucking around. The king was just like, oh yeah, I got a new plan, I can do it. And then
it's like, probably because the king just dipped out.
Yeah, the king was out.
The main
like
lady was like, I'm gonna buy some fish. And the guy's like, all right, what you having, lady? And then all of a sudden someone was like, oh my god! The ship was like in shambles, coming to the dock, and everyone was like, what the fuck is happening? This dude's like, this jazz gloves, lady! Oh my god! And he starts running over, and everyone's like, oh my Jesus Christ, thank God they're alive! And then all of a sudden bombs start coming up, and everybody looks up, and it's not even like they're all like immediate like scream and run in terror. They all look up and they're like, oh, it's the enemy warship. And then like flyers start flying down and everyone's just like, it's like
the police are just like, hey, don't read it. It's enemy propaganda.
Yeah, all the police are just like chill. They're like chilling out.
Don't worry about the enemy warship flying over you. Just don't read the propaganda.
Like, hey, don't pick that up. That's enemy propaganda. Leave that. Go to your fucking house. What are you doing? And they're like just walking down the street.
Instead of like, you might want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You're gonna die. Like, nobody has any air defenses or anything. Nobody's like, hey, somebody get to the battlements and fucking like shoot the ship down.
What it feels like is they literally, two countries, right? One country is only naval, the other is clearly only aviation. So
no ground troops at all.
No.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they both had airships, but it was just like, what the fuck? I was like, what is this war? Makes no fucking sense. Who's running this fucking thing? There's no way you would just be like, oh yeah, that's the enemy warship, and just let it pass.
Yeah, don't worry, don't pay attention to it.
Yeah. Oh, do we have guns? No. Okay. Well, what are you gonna do? It's fine. Are they gonna bomb us? We don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll just wait and see what happens.
Meh.
We just gotta wait for go recruit some wizards and witches. We'll be fine.
Yeah, and then
what I never understood
3
is
days
why...
later the enemy brings the bigger warships, the like motherships. They look like giant. They just look like giant, like the secret Nazi weapons where they made like the fucking big ass bomber with like 70 propellers on it, and it looks like a boomerang, and it's just coming in, and they're like start dropping bombs on the main city where the king is. They're just like fucking shit up, and there's no air defenses. Nobody's defending anything. They're just like, oh my god! Like, how could we have foreseen this happening? It's like it happened 2 days ago.
Yeah, one thing I never understood is why So I get why they recruit witches and wizards, right? But the way they utilize them is by just turning them into these stupid monsters that fly around. Why wouldn't you just let them use their magic?
That's their secret technique.
The only person who actually uses magic in defense of this city is the fucking Solomon witch, who's like, yeah, I put a barrier over the palace so it doesn't get bombed, but I can't cover the whole thing, so everybody else is gonna die. Just the palace is gonna be fine, but that's
don't tell anybody to go to the palace to retreat. Just stay in your homes.
That's all the magic that I can do. What are you guys doing with the wizards? We're turning them into flying geckos and freaks.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's a great plan.
So yeah, I don't really understand wizards. Is there ultimate form that they turn into some kind of fucking weird ass animal?
I mean, I know how turned into because his heart.
Is that
got stolen.
the ultimate magic?
Or not? He gave up his heart to Calcifer.
I don't think so. But...
If it is, that's the worst fucking magic I've ever seen in my life. They literally poop out these flying geckos, and Hal's like, oh, that's funny, and he just fucking destroys about 50 of them in one hit, and I'm like,
because he's like a massive fucking
and they're all wizards, and I'm like, those are all your wizards, and they just got fucking what are your wizards doing? What are the wizards doing?
I guess maybe those wizards are like the Hogwarts students versus actual graduated.
Where's the other? Where's
the
master wizards? Where are they? You would assume that there would be at least one wizard.
They probably just left because they're like, yeah, we'll let all these stupid humans kill each other.
Not to mention, by the end of the movie, where the prince says, "I'm gonna go let my dad know to end this war." I'm pretty sure the capital is destroyed by then.
Yeah, I was like
death happened. No point.
The war is already over.
I was like, you're gonna tell this guy to end the war when, one, probably nobody is alive. Because the city just got fucking destroyed.
Yeah, everyone's dead other than the queen and the king.
Two, probably. It's not like they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, okay, we forgive them." That's not happening. They're gonna be
we blamed you for something that didn't happen.
They're gonna be millions of people just died in this bomb range.
I mean, hey, technically this happens because Japan and Germany both did this.
Right, but obviously,
and America.
I mean, obviously, it was because of the nuclear bomb. It's like, look, England got bombed for fucking how long during the war? It was a year straight that they got bombed, and they were still no, we're not gonna just give up. That's people have died. That's fucking crazy. You're gonna just expect us to be like, okay, and you fucking killed us, a bunch of people.
Yeah, but they never had to, they never had to lose because they got backed up by the end. In this case, they lost.
Right, there's no backup. Yeah, that's true. There's no backup. Everyone is dead. That's from what I know. They don't show the city after that, so I just assume everybody in that city is dead.
On fire. Yeah,
and then Sullivan's just like, This is good. This is a good ending. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to my father now. Let me skip on this stick in the middle of the sky to go see my dad, and it's like,
Sullivan's like, yeah, we're good.
He's either he's fucking dead, or it's just him in the palace, and you guys rule nothing. You just rule a fucking
I think his dad is the one on the
there.
other side that's attacking them.
His dad's on the winning side. Never mind.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Never mind. I take back everything I say. He goes back to his dad, and he's like, "Oh, my son. Okay, stop.
We're winning. Nah, finish it off. We're winning. Finish it.
He's like, just clean slate. Just wipe it clean.
Our bad.
Yeah, his heart just got broken. His heart just got broken.
Yeah. He's gonna go to the.
Sophie didn't bother looking at him.
He's gonna go to the other king.
Fuck you.
And he's gonna be like, "Look, man, my bad. We're cool. Look, you don't. You obviously can't do anything. You have no military, but we're cool. I'm not gonna keep doing it. Okay, so bomb. It's off. We're calling it off. Bombs are
just
off.
Surrender right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna make you surrender because it's done. But we're cool, right?
We already beat you,
cool.
but
yeah. It's not going to come back to bite me in the ass in 200 years, right? When you build up your forces and come back to kill me, that's not going to happen, right? Okay, cool. We'll see you guys later. And they go back.
Have a tea party next month.
Yeah. And then 100 years from now, 100 years from then,
they lose again.
World War II happens on the Howl's Moving Castle land.
And they lose again.
Yeah, or actually, yeah, they lose again, or they actually win, and then
this time they have rockets.
Yeah, this time they have rockets. They win.
Yeah, they don't turn into geckos; they turn into rockets.
Yeah, and then the prince is like, "Fuck, I should have just let him kill him. I should have said shit." Yeah. So.
Yeah, great movie. Great movie.
Great
no
movie.
plot holes whatsoever.
Yeah, the military side of this movie.
Yeah, don't think about it too hard. It's anime.
Could have consulted some kind of military expert on this one.
They don't have any, clearly.
In other movies, I think it's done a lot better than like in Princess Mononoke. The war and that actually is way more.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Just on this movie specifically,
it's just because the focus of this movie is more about love and stuff like that.
Love, how.
Right. It is the focus, but there are.
But for sure,
there's a big scene of like, millions of people getting bombed.
It is for sure. They just needed to flesh it out.
There is a war happening. This is you can clearly see the bombs falling from the sky about to hit everybody on the head.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they probably could have fleshed it out, but
it doesn't take away from the movie. It does not take away from the movie. The movie's still great.
Just nitpicking. We're literally just nitpicking.
We're just fucking around. I just went on a schizo rant. It's not like a fucking serious thing.
Like
we're just fucking around.
It's not even fucking serious. I'm just fucked. So just ignore whatever I just said. I don't remember.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
All I really got for it.
Just cut this part off from the video.
Anything else you guys have for this movie?
No. No. It was
Watch
great.
the rest of the movies.
Yeah. I think we should
watch
do this
all
every
of their
year.
movies.
Yeah, I think every year there's a Ghibli fest. We should definitely watch a movie.
Would Ocean watch it?
I think he might.
Yeah, for sure.
Or he's gonna do it when he's gone.
I think this type of
I'm pretty sure Ocean has watched Studio Ghibli.
I mean, he's watched anime stuff too. But
yeah.
I would be surprised if he didn't like this stuff, because this is very different than your traditional like anime stuff.
I mean, we can always do another vote.
So
maybe next time we'll throw up a vote.
It'd be cool to keep doing this every year, and maybe we can do a poll.
I think it would be awesome.
The next one would be.
Yeah.
Which I'm down for that.
So sounds like a cool idea. Let us know down in the comments below if you think that's a good idea.
Yeah, and what movie you think we should watch.
If you guys like it, we'll get the poll going in the probably on the Instagram.
Yeah, on the socials.
Links to the socials will be down in the description below. Remember to give a like if you like this video. Otherwise, that's it for us here, and we will catch you guys on the next video.
Bye guys.
Bye. Adios.